Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project365, episode 356. Less than 10 to go. With Francesca Emanuel, regionals athlete Francesca Emanuel. I was supposed to say something like that, make her sound more important than she really is. She was wearing a WODdoc t-shirt today, so when she came in, that's the only reason why she's getting the precedence and coming on today's show. No,
I appreciate that.
The real reason is because we're doing shoulder rehab and shoulder exercises today, and she presents with something that's very similar to many of the athletes that are out there, and that's like this upper trap dominance. Turn around with them. So you can see, like, she obviously has a pretty developed shoulder, right? I mean, nobody's going to disregard that part. But what happens is when she starts doing all her overhead movements, this big trap that she has and she works so hard to get becomes like a tyrant and just takes over everything. When what we want to do is we want the shoulder to be more stable. And the way that it becomes more stable is we get more activation of these lower tissues, and that scapula or that shoulder blade kind of sucks down into the rib cage. So what we're going to work on today is 2 ways at which we can activate these lower traps and mid traps so that this sucker, this scapula, sucks onto the rib cage a little bit better. All right, so what she's going to do is she's going to have a really light resistance band, because you don't need heavy resistance here, and it's going to be anchored above her head, okay? From there, if anybody doesn't know what the anatomical position is, it's when we come here and we bring our palms out like that. If you didn't know, just go to a Gray's Anatomy book. That's what we're trying to get to. All right, so what Francesca's going to do is she's going to bring her arms down into her sides with her palms up, right? And she likes to keep that wrist, for whatever reason, not straighten that wrist. And the first thing you're going to notice is because the band goes up into like an upward direction, her shoulders naturally shrug up. Not shrug high, but they shrug up just a little bit. So the cue in which we're looking for her to do is she obviously has a vector or a resistance that's going in that direction. So she has to pull back. That backward motion is going to kind of get some of these external rotators right here with her palms up, all right? But from right there, what I want her to do is push down into my hands. But since her arms are already completely straight, she has to do it with her shoulders. So just allow that little shrug, and now press down. Good, and we're going to hold that for 3 seconds. Come on, back up, and just kind of relax those shoulders. Press down. Good, all right, and back up. And now press down, 1, 2, 3, back up, and press down, 1, 2, 3. Good. So that's with my cues, and you can see that burns her out just in that little tiny resistance band.
Shaking.
However, when she does this herself, I'm not going to be there to hold underneath her hand for her to press down, and that's where these bands come into effect here. So what she wants to do is she wants to bring her arm back down into that position that we just saw her in, okay? She wants to think about keeping her fist in line with the rest of her body and her palm outwards, okay? As her shoulder shrugs up just a little bit, she's going to think about pressing her fist down towards the ground, all right? We're trying to pick some grass down the bottom. We always say picking daisies. She's going to hold that and count in her head for 3 seconds, okay? Then she's going to allow her shoulders to shrug up without her palms moving forward, okay? And she's going to repeat that cycle. Go ahead, down, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. She can allow herself come back up, and down, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. Allow herself come back up, and so on until we collect 5 reps. But the key is, you can drop those because I know you're burnt out. The key is that you never want to stay, or you never want to allow your hand to drift forward, and you never want to allow your hand to drift inwards, because what we're trying to get is maximum activation of this external rotator, so the posterior cuff, mid trap, and all that, right? Mid and lower trap. So the way we do that is to keep that resistance coming backwards and to keep that palm going into external rotation, and then to depress with the shoulder, because that's going to turn off this big sucker up there, right? Francesca, I think we're going to wrap up right there, because we were going to do 2. We're only going to do 1 because I like the way that one went. Thank you so much, as always. Beautiful shirt.
Thanks,
guys, get yourself a shirt. Support the site. Until tomorrow, we are optimizing function to optimize performance.